Today we're going to be reacting to Kulino. That time Korra had to fight Zaheer, the smoke demon. Hope we enjoy.
That man Zaheer is a demon. I mean, they had to lock his ass up pre-airbending because he was so tough. He was just taking on benders by himself. Him and his other tree butt buddies called themselves the Red Lotus, and their whole goal was to kill the Avatar. They was trying to find baby Korra and take her ass out the game frame one. That's why they had to be locked up for like 17 years. So you already knew Zaheer was going to be a problem once he gets bending, and he got airbending. I mean, him and the Red Lotus jumped the hell out of Tenzin, captured all the new airbenders, and now Zaheer's trying to bargain a deal with Korra. She turns herself into the Red Lotus. Korra pulls up on Zaheer while Mako, Bolin, and Asami pull up on Tenzin and the other airbenders. But that boy Gazan is there with Tenzin. So now that Gazan's there with the airbenders, Korra is not finna comply. So Zaheer gets on the phone with Gazan and he's like, hey man, go ahead and boom all them niggas. Like, Korra resisted for like 0.01 seconds, and that man Zaheer was like, yeah man, go ahead and take him out the game already. And the crazy part is, man, niggas still gonna blame Korra for this. So she drops her air glider and goes over there to Zaheer. Then they overhear Hog tie my girl up. Combustion Woman handcuffs Korra's arms and legs, and she can't even metal bend out of those cuffs. They are made out of platinum. Gazan lets Mako, Bolin, and Asami take the airbenders back. Asami helps up Tenzin, and then Mako and Bolin go to the airbenders, and oh nah, these boys got duped. That girl Minghua gave everybody the slip. She tried to boom my nigga Mako with her water whisper. He blocked that bitch with a fire shield. Got back on the phone and told Korra, hey, I ain't gonna lie, you gonna have to fight the hell out of these niggas, bro. There was no airbenders here. So Korra hits a smooth ass airbending dropkick, making Zaheer and Combustion Woman get out the way. As Mako's still on the phone and he's over here talking to Chief Beifong, and let me just tell you this right here, y'all not willing to do what I'm willing to do. Y'all not willing to go as far as I'm willing to go. Lin Beifong bad as hell for no reason. But anyways, Mako gets on the phone and he tells Lin Beifong it's time as they commence the jumping. But Lin, Suyin, the entire police force start scaling this mountain to try to pull up on Zaheer. He switched back to my nigga Korra and she starts busting back at Zaheer and plea. The thing she's throwing the most is just dropkick elemental attacks, man. She tried to dropkick fire blast this nigga Zaheer. He dodged out the way. Korra then kicked up, got herself some rock, and kicked that shit right at Zaheer. He slid up under that bitch, pulled up like 1 foot in front of Korra. She tried to take that nigga head off with firebending. He just swiftly dodged out of the way. Korra then threw another rock at Zaheer while he was backwards, mind you, and his ass still dodged. If I was Korra, I'd be like, nah, this nigga is cheating. There is no way. She also threw out a fire blast. Zaheer dodged. She tried to get into her fighting stance, but nah, them shackles is holding her back. Crazy. Just for Zaheer to get this nasty ass two-piece off on my girl. I mean, she got tricked with airbending just to get kicked in the side of the.
I can't lie though. Props to Korra here because she's actually doing very well considering both her arms and legs are chained up. Fair play. She really has got that like versatility and a combat ability. So have to give credit where credit is due.
Stomach, knocking her ass into the ground, knocking her out. I know if I'm Korra right now, I'm like, Lin, Suyin, where's you niggas at, bro? I know Mako gave you the green light like 30 minutes ago. Why is y'all still scaling this mountain? I know y'all wasn't that far down. But Lin and the police force pull up on top of the mountain, and Combustion Woman tells Zaheer to take Korra to the airship. I'll deal with these niggas. Shorty shoots one of them little tingies out of her forehead, knocks 2 of the police officers down. But baby girl Lin just flipped over the explosion like the real nigga she is. Lin still flipping over explosions, starts shooting some rocks at Combustion Woman. She blows them bitches up. Suyin throwing rocks too. Combustion Woman couldn't blow these ones up though, so she just dodged out of the way. As we go back to Zaheer and Korra, and she almost on the airship. I'm not gonna lie, Zaheer, you got airbending, bro. You should have moved her ass with the swiftness to that airship. Everything that happened after this is on you, gang. Cause Korra's pops pulls up on the ramp of this ship, making Zaheer back off of Korra, but also unintentionally knocking his daughter off of the ramp. But Tonraq done grabbed Korra by the hand, cause froze them bitches.
Tonraq was doing very well
here for this nasty ass alley because she just drop kick firebended that nigga Zaheer in the mouth. Not only that, Tonraq done cut the ropes off of the airship, making that bitch fly away. We go back to the Minghua Gazan whoops, and Minhua's over here getting tired of Mako and Bolin BS. So she's like, hey Gazan, just drop a volcano on these niggas. And that's basically what he does. He turns the entire area into magma, making our guys have to retreat. So we switch back to Combustion Woman and Zaheer, and Combustion Woman over here still blowing niggas up, but Zaheer still fading Korra and Tonraq up at the same time. I mean, like, this nigga is a smoke demon. But Korra and Tonraq is doing Zaheer like they playing Tekken tag team against this nigga. Zaheer would knock Tonraq out of frame and Korra would come up frame one. They over here doing this over and over again until Tonraq hits Zaheer with his water tentacles just so Korra can roll out, having Zaheer back up. Korra tripped this nigga on a rock, and Tonraq was about to skewer his ass with this ice, but he dodged out the way, put Tonraq in this air ball, and threw his ass off the cliff. We then go see what the Beifong sisters is doing, and they is pinned down. This nigga plea with.
Have to mention it. The tag team with father and daughter is probably exceptional here. It is probably one of the best duo sequences in all of Legend of Korra, if I have to do say so myself. It's really up there with some of the Toph and Aang scenes. Not there, but it's it's giving those kind of levels. So fair play, great teamwork there. Obviously, Zaheer was able to like get the wool over them eventually, but have to rate the teamwork, despite how little they actually do work together. Goes to show how actually close they are, despite how little time they do spend with each other.
Her explosions is too much. You tell Lynn's like, hey, I'm finna go draw her fire. You got this, gang? Lynn pulls up on Plea. She starts throwing rocks at her. She's dodging till she makes this rock wall, and Plea exploded that bitch right in front of Lynn, knocking her ass back. Plea was finna finish the job, but Big Billy Goat Su Yin pulled up. Right before Plea could use her bending, Su Yin took that armor off and wrapped it around her head, making Plea blow herself up to smithereens. And the crazy part is, man, Zaheer just saw his bitch get waxed right in front of him. He can't climb that tree no more. But that was just the power-up Zaheer needed. That was the last thing Zaheer had on this mortal plane. So this nigga locks in, starts dodging all of Korra's firebending just to pull up on this rock, do this mean-ass flip, and stomp on her ass for some air, making her body bounce. Knocked her goofy ass out, man. Zaheer is doing my goat.
Quite interesting. I've just noticed these whole battles are like family duos. Like you got the sister duo with Sue and the sister, and then you've got obviously the brother duo with Marco and Bolin, and then you got your father-daughter duo. So, quite interesting. Quite rare you see such fight sequences in Avatar. But this one is really there because naturally, Zuko and Azula are the only are duo, are siblings, but they're on opposite sides. You had that one little sequence with Katara and Sokka on the Seed Day of Black Sun episode. But besides that, obviously you got the sister war tribes also in the North Temple in Korra. But just really goes to show how little the duos are between and fight sequences between and with siblings are. So nice work, Avatar.
Quite dirty, I can't even lie to you. So Zaheer scoops up Korra as Lin and Sue pull up on this nigga Zaheer. They're like, hey, can you let go of the Avatar, please? And then the nigga just jumps off this cliff, and Su Yin and Lin's like, oh, whoa, why you do that for? As they look down and, oh, nah. His ass floats up to the airship and he done captured Korra. So now the Red Lotus got Korra strung up, started injecting her ass with that mercury poison, forcing her ass to stay into the Avatar state in order to live, which I understand. Their plan is to end the Avatar state for good. No more reincarnations. They said Korra finna be the last Avatar forever. But at the end of the day, it's still the fucking Avatar in the Avatar state. This nigga Zaheer said, finish her now. While Korra, the Avatar who can earthbend, is in a cave with rocks in it.
How does anyone know
platinum chains. She can't middle bend those. She's still in the cave with fucking rocks. I feel like there could have been a better plan going through Zaheer's mind than this. Because Meanwhile was trying to get Korra up out of there. But Korra, me strong ass, just ripped a big ass rock out of the wall, freeing her right hand as she earthbended that bitch and smashed Meanwhile between a rock and a hard place. And look at this nigga Kazan's face. He knows that they are in a world of hurt, but he starts magma bending this puddle of magma right up under Korra. So he wraps them chains around her hand, fire bends that puddle of magma, and makes that shit bounce up and almost hit Kazan. So his ass dodge out of the way. Korra breaks out of the chains, and I'm not.
One thing I really like about this scene is the first time in all of Avatar: Legend of Korra where the Avatar state is back at its best. Like, it really goes to show when the Avatar state is popped out, the battle is nearing its conclusion, and the Avatar is going to win. It's an indestructible force, uncontainable, unstoppable. And this is what's so good about this scene. It really brings back the Avatar to its best. Season 1 and 2 is barely used, and if it's used, it doesn't make any difference. But here, it's got the ferocity back where the Avatar scene takes full presence and center stage, and the enemies know that defeat's inevitable. So I have to love that. This scene is incredible. Korra really does pull out the dog in her. So fair play to Korra. Love it.
Gonna lie, this is a scary ass nigga, brother. I almost forgot she just got poisoned 3 minutes ago. So Korra's ass jumps down, earthbends these 4 big ass rocks, and hits a Red Lotus member with each and every single one of them at the same time. But my girl Korra started tweaking, breathing fire like a madman, throwing these mean ass fireballs as Zaheer as his ass is flying away. Korra's niggas pull up and Korra does not hear a damn thing they say. She saw Zaheer flying, she was like, Nigga, you think you're special because you can fly? Watch this. Turns on the afterburners and starts flying after his ass too. And this is so funny, man. Zaheer just elegantly flying. Korra's ass is crashing through walls and shit. She want this nigga gone right now. You can even see it in how they leave this cave. Just Zaheer effortlessly flying through this whole Korra crashing through this damn mountain. Just throwing big ass chunks of rocks at this nigga Zaheer. Zaheer dodged the first one. The second one almost clipped his ass, but he bounced off that with airbending. But that was all of a mess up Korra needed Zaheer to do, cause she done tackled this nigga in midair. Zaheer grabbed Korra and hold on a second. Thought he was finna hit Shorty ass with a Batista bomb, but he just flipped her ass and hit her with a drop, knocking her down to this big ass pillar. Had her ass bouncing off pillars, man. She was getting cooked. But pause. Now that we on this topic, let's just talk about it for a little bit. A lot of niggas think Korra is weak because she, gets just thrown around, gets handled a lot. But really, Aang Korra.
Fair play to Zaheer though. You have to realize how much of a prodigy he is with airbending, because he hasn't had it airbending for that long, but his proficiency of flying and combat flying in the air straight off the bat has to be noted. Well played to him.
Both lose a lot, but I think that the fact that The Legend of Korra is just a more brutal show than The Last Airbender, the way Korra be losing is way more brutal than Aang loses. Niggas will automatically think, oh man, Korra got to be weak. We even see it in the first season, man. Amon and his brother just did a double suicide. Like, what's going on here, gang? But Korra's ass recovered and Zaheer started really flying at her as Korra's deranged ass is just jumping from pillar to pillar.
It's more a case that Tarlok killed himself than killed his brother. So technically it would be a single suicide and one murder. You know what I mean? But semantics at the end of the day.
He then just rips the top of this big ass pillar off and just chunks that shit at Zaheer. He dodges though, but Korra's just still lobbing more rocks at this nigga. As Zaheer's like, nah nigga, you crazy, hitting the dash. Korra throws everything at this nigga she can until Zaheer retaliates with this air 3-piece. Korra dodges the first two, but that kick was the one that got it. But as soon as Korra recovered, Zaheer just flew past Korra as fast as he could, knocking her back with the wind. Her ass fell, got up, and like, alright, I got something for that bitch ass. Took this whole ass side of a mountain off and just threw that bitch at Zaheer. He got out the way though, but we see my girl Korra done found herself some water. She hit a 5-piece water bending combo. Zaheer dodged the first 4, but that 5th one froze his leg, making him lose his balance. He started to fall to his demise, and Korra's like, oh yeah, free eats. She pulls up on bro, and oh nah, that poison started to kick in. Zaheer would have been cooked if Korra connected, but nah, that poison just knocked her ass clean out. Zaheer broke the ice on his foot, flew back up to Korra, and Korra was trying to firebend his ass, but nah, that poison is beating her ass right now. Then Zaheer starts flying back and forth near Korra, knocking her ass off this mountain from level to level until her ass gets dropped on the ground. As Zaheer's pulling the same move he did to the Earth Queen on Korra, and niggas finna blame Korra for this, by the way. All the airbenders start making this mean ass air tornado, sucking this nigga Zaheer in, stopping him from murking the Avatar. He starts to get sucked in, but he grabs Korra so he can finish the job. But my goat Korra wakes up, wraps that chain around that goofy ass nigga Zaheer's leg, and then she slams this nigga on the ground, knocking him out for good. Legend of Korra fights always gas. Let me know some other Korra fights you want me to cover, because I definitely got y'all. Moral of the story is, I'm gonna need y'all to stop playing like Korra is weak. Should just be fighting some grade A demons. I'm gonna need y'all to get that The Last Airbender nostalgia out your mouth, because I love The Last Airbender too, but you The Last Airbender niggas be making me have to slander Aang, which I don't want to do in order to prove that Korra isn't a certain way. The double standards with you niggas is crazy. But with that being said, that's the end of the video, man. If you like, comment, subscribe, do the good stuff, and yeah, I'm out of here. Bye.
Good video. One thing I have to say is though, if you have to tear down another character in order to build up your own character, how great is your character really is? Because surely they should be able to stand on their own as a great character with or without comparisons, especially if those comparisons are in a better light in comparison to somebody else. And one other thing I have to say is Zaheer's strength is really kind of overrated. Like, he doesn't actually face anyone that great. And when he does face true masters like Tenzin, he loses badly. Obviously, they skipped the scene where him and Tenzin go in one-on-one kind of situation. And he gets 0 hits on Tenzin. And Tenzin is just putting all that pressure on him. And then he has to gang up on them. And even here, yes, he's holding his own well against the Avatar state. But ultimately, it is a poison Korra who's weak, fatigued, and tired. But credits to Korra, it really goes to show her relentlessness and resilience. And something maybe showcased more in Korra than in Aang. But that contrasts with their fighting style with Aang barely gets hit, so he doesn't really need to be resistant or have high endurance or durability. Whereas somebody like Korra, who has less evasion, has strengths are more aligned of endurance and durability. So I really have to point out Korra's strengths there. But good video, enjoyable. Rate the guy. I'm really enjoying kind of reflecting on different aspects of Korra because it's easy because I am a Aang fan, but being able to I can appreciate both characters. But it's just when the Korra fans overhype it to try to say he's better than Aang, then that naturally puts my guard up. But try to be objective here, but a good video, and that's all I have to say. Like, comment, and subscribe for any other videos. Give me suggestions of any videos you'd like me to do. But as of today, goodbye. Ciao.